Archie, luxury jumps on a Boeing jet, leaves behind the family, no regrets. He's got a birthday, I'm your old Shanghai. Eyes are on Mrs. Lai, the reason why. While in Brisbane, the tears roll strong. Chinese whispers called him to Hong Kong. Pack up your bags and off you go. Leave behind the begging for the LOX show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Archie's chasing dreams in the mystic land. Mrs. Lai brings coffee to his hand. Family's calls echo on the phone. He's miles away, lost, but he's not alone. In old Shenzhen's glow, he likes to stray. With Mrs. Lai, they bonk till the light of day. Pack up your bags and off you go. He's not showing up to New York watch show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Though the tears roll down in Brisbane town, Archie's 3-inch dick flops all around. Celebrations in the neon night, forgetting home, he's chasing new Asian delight. Pack up your bags and off you go. Leave the begging for the beach ball show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Weeks later, Archie leaves his playground, comes back home, he's Brisbane bound. Comes up with stories that he's going bust, has to fool the punters to gain their trust. Pack up your bags and off you go. Leave the begging for the beach ball show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Archie spent the punter's money, he's in a fix. Spins a story that he can't eat bricks. All the lonely simps believe his scam. Grab all their cash, shove it in his hand. Pack up your bags and off you go. He didn't bother with the New York watch show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Comes on streams, he cries poor again. His mate 10 gives him $5 grand, maybe 10. Archie thinks he's a big swing dick, cause the punters fall for his gypsy shtick. Pack up your bags and off you go. Didn't bother with the New York watch show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore.
Man, what happened to Nikki? Like, did I ruin his Christmas, guys? Welcome to the program. Welcome to the show, guys. Let's do my intro and let's get into it because we got a bit of stuff to unpack this morning, and I got about an hour, Gary. So I don't know, when Nikki cut the stream off short, I was like, man, I was just starting to have fun, guys. Man, you guys know what time it is. This is the LOX Report. I am the narrative. This is an unsanctioned broadcast. All opinions in this segment are those official word of the narrative and no one else. All right, so we've got, I think everybody's been kind of seeing what's been going on in the Archieverse over the last couple of days, and there's been a lot of people trying to sell narratives and sell, like time slots on other channels and everything else. So I thought, I'd kick back. I got about an hour, kick back with you guys. Nick ended up ending his stream a little early. I don't really know why. I got a little triggered that I told Uzi to send some red super chats to Archie. I mean, look, hey, you want Archie's attention, you send him the super chats, right? Don't send him like fucking backwater deals. And maybe he may, maybe it may pique his interest. I don't know. But let's start off by saying hello to everybody in the chat. We got Darth Negus in the chat first, says g'day. We got Gary who says, guess that vacation is pretty. Yeah, I was enjoying my time, man. It's the holidays. I was, had some time with the family and everything else. And, obviously people have been keeping me apprised of what's going on. Marcelo's been messaging me, hey, Dan, what do you think I should do? Should I take the deal? And I said, absolutely, man. If the guy's going to pay you $200 a day, I mean, fuck, hey, you're here to make money, right? Like, this is a business. Pay to play is my motto. And look, I don't fucking hate on nobody who wants to pay to play. If Uzi wants to spend that money to have a private dancer show with Marcelo, hey, it's all good, man. Like I got no fucking beefs with that. We got the real sucker one in the chat says G'day 10. We got Loose Tooth who's enjoying the intro Where the Dragon. I haven't heard that one in a while, so I was like, you know what, let me play that old Where the Dragon Soars AI slop and start the show that way. We got Lavishly Fat Canadian Brother, Upvote GD. I don't know where GD is, man. I heard GD was on vacation. I don't know the fuck he went, but yeah, man. And we got Ryan Hoffray joining us. Happy Sunday, Tan. Likes aren't easy to come by, apparently. Yeah, so I guess I'll unpack for you guys kind of what's going on in the Archieverse. If you haven't been following, if you've been on vacation, if you've been, under a rock for the last couple of days. So I guess back in, a couple of days ago, Uzi offered Marcelo a deal. I think both Marcelo and Nick are getting paid on this deal, where it's like $200. Marcelo got a $500 signing bonus, US dollars, and then $200 a day for 7 days. And I think both him and Nick get the $200. So 200 goes to Marcelo, 200 goes to Nick. Marcelo reached out to me, hey, Tan, what do you think I should do? And I said, yeah, man, take the deal. Like, why would you not, right? Like, you're here to make money. You're here to do content. And look, the guy's willing to pay, right? Like, it's no different than anybody else who says, hey, here's $50, read out my comment or, pull up a video or do whatever, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's pay to play, baby. That is the essence of pay to play. So I told Marcelo, hey, man, go take the deal. Do whatever you like, right? Like, now look, it's very simple because, I think Uzi somehow thought that I'd be upset about pay to play, even though I'm like the biggest proponent of it, right? Like, and I Acquired Taste asked me, like, what do I think about, the situation? I said, Acquired Taste is great. Like, let Marcelo make his money. And then, a week later, everything's going to be on discount. Like, it's like, why pay top dollar at Christmas time when you can wait till after Christmas and, he'll go back to his channel and, go back to his content and we can keep it going as we do, right? Like, it's pretty simple. Now, look, hey, if Uzi wants to keep the deal with Marcelo, keep paying him $200 a day. I mean, like, sure. Hey, fill your boots. This is how I brought Marcelo over from Tim's. I said to Marcelo, I said, hey, look, would you do a show for your birthday with us? And even at the time, Marcelo did the same with me. Even he reached out to Tim and OC and he said, what do you guys think? And both those guys basically told him to take the deal and kick bricks because Marcelo asked them, hey, can you offer me a little bit more money than these guys? So, because I want to stay with Tim. And Tim and OC said, no, go over there. And that's kind of, history was, everything else is history, I guess you could say. But that's how it worked. I offered Marcelo a deal and, Tim in his mind, has held this grudge for a couple of years now, saying that Marcelo stabbed him in the back for, I think it was like $500 or whatever, right? Like, he looks at it that way, like, oh, well, Marcelo stabbed me in the back for money. But if you really kind of saw what Marcelo was doing on Tim's channel back then, I mean, Marcelo was literally sitting in the corner. He would only come on, like Tim would only really let him on and talk when there was literally nobody else on the show. So I told Marcelo, I said, well, why would you? And Marcelo, kind of similar deal to what Uzi has, right? Marcelo was not allowed to stream at all when Tim had his platform going. Marcelo was basically told don't stream. Similar to what Uzi is saying to Marcelo, saying, hey, you're not allowed to stream on your own platform. And even Marcelo yesterday sent me a message saying, the deal that Archie got is better than his deal. He was not happy about that. That Uzi gave Archie a bit of a better deal than Marcelo because Archie was allowed to. Obviously, he's not going to stop streaming on his platform. We know that, right? Like Archie was never going to not stream on his platform. He was never going to not do the LOX show and everything else. But Marcelo was told he's not allowed to not only stream on his platform, but not allowed to go anywhere else either. Which is okay. That it's very similar to what Tim was saying to Marcelo, right? And I mean, look, it's. I think the question people need to ask is like, well, what's going to happen, after that, right? What's going to happen in a week's time, and that's really the kind of unknown situation because Uzi's picking up Marcelo when Marcelo's probably at his lowest in terms of, after kind of the aftermath of the whole JB incident, and Marcelo's on the dungeon, and a lot of the viewers were quite angry with him, for his behavior and whatnot. Marcelo looked at it that way too. He said, look, I'm not really going to make any money in the short term, so let me take this deal. And I said, yeah, man, look, if you feel that's best for you, do what you got to do, right? So there's really no cock block drama Acquired Taste. Like Marcelo could show you, he's not scared to show you screenshots. He could easily show you the screenshots of what I said to him. And I actually sent Marcelo the screenshot of me talking to Archie me talking to Archie the other day. And you know what? Maybe what I'll do is I'll publish that screenshot because I mean everybody kind of knows what was said. So let me see if I can publish that one on the dungeon from what I said to AC3, and then we can go through kind of like this whole narrative of cock blocking because, like I said to both those guys, it's if you guys want to make that money, pay to play, baby. That's what the game is about. We're all about that pay to play. Here in the Archieverse, and yeah, for me, it's whoever with a dollar speaks. Everyone talks about like, well, hey, the narrative's this, the narrative's that. And I always tell people, I say, if you don't like the way the show is going, you want to talk watches, you want to talk other things, definitely go and super chat the money, and you can change the narrative. It's very simple. It's not more difficult than that. But yeah, let's publish this. Let's publish this screenshot. Here on the dungeon, and Uzi. Let's call it Uzi's offer to AC3. All right, because this is obviously my message to AC3, which is fine for me to post because it's my own damn message. So I published that on the dungeon. Let me pull it up here for you guys, so you guys can see it. Let me go to Horology dungeon, the old Horology dungeon community posts, and yeah, let's talk about what I've said to these guys throughout because both those guys have messaged me, and so I posted it here. Uzi's offer to AC3. And let me just share my screen for you guys and we can get into it. So, yep, and it's posted, it's published. So you guys can see it on the dungeon yourself, but I'll put it up here on the screen for you guys just so you guys can see it. I'll remove this and maybe I'll blow this up a little bit. So, obviously, me messaging Paul Pluto, I says, Uzi wants to pay you $200 USD. So I even labeled the currency US dollars, 200 USD. To stream with him like you do with math. So Marcus Allen Frischman pays Archie to do a weekly show with him, right? No different than what Uzi is offering to do with Archie. He wants Archie to do a show on a private platform and give him dating advice. So I did add that little thing to it because I mean, well, Archie's gonna want to know like why would I stream with Uzi, right? Like why would I stream with Uzi? All right, Zucker, and I'll remove that one. I didn't see that. Why would we stream with Uzi? Well, Uzi probably wants some dating advice. That's what Archie's best known for, is giving the old dating advice on the live stream. So I said, look, Uzi wants to pay $200 US a day to stream with him like you do with Marcus Allen Frischman. That's pretty accurate. And give him dating advice. Now, I did add that, a bit of spice to it, I guess. He wants to rent you for a week, which is true. If you accept, please say so at the start of your show tonight. Uzi will be listening because I know that like Uzi has no real method to communicate this to Archie. Nobody else is really going to send this over to Archie. So I said, hey, let me send the offer to Archie. Let me be kind to Uzi. It's the holidays, right? Let me be kind to Uzi and get his offer to Archie to see what Archie says. So Archie's immediate response. So you can see here at 5:21 p.m. I send this to him. He responds to me at 5:22 p.m. saying he could fuck himself. I wouldn't. And then I said, okay, well, please let him know that, right? He needs to know the answer. He needs to know the answer of his offer. And, I said, please let him know that at the start of the stream because, like, obviously Uzi wants to know. He says, I wouldn't accept 1,000 US dollars. So I said, all right, cool. Like, I mean, it ain't acquired taste. It ain't much more different than that. I mean, I don't really see that as cock blocking, right? Like even if I remove this dating advice thing, I really don't see how that would have, pushed Archie to say yes, because Archie literally wrote to me a minute later saying he could fuck himself. I wouldn't. And I said, please let him know that. Like, I was simply the messenger. And, Uzi and Nick, they're trying very hard to spin it to shoot the messenger. And it just, I mean, when you actually see what Archie says, it doesn't really add up, boys and girls. It doesn't really add up. All right, so let me catch up to the chat here. I did obviously want to show you guys what was going on. Gary says these cats definitely pay well. I'd rather pay to keep Marcelo away. And honestly, Gary, I think that's part of it, right? Is some people are actually happy that Marcelo's over there and Uzi's paying, $200 to keep Marcelo away from the Archieverse. Like, hey, that's how some people see it, and they're kind of happy of it, right? Like, who knows? Darth Negus, Marcelo was basically a doormat. Yeah, that was true. He was a doormat at Timmy's. He was told he can't he can't go and do his own stream. He basically sat in the corner anytime a panelist that he wanted to talk to, like an O'Sheen or whatever, would come on. Basically, he was told to shut the fuck up. And that's what I kind of told him back then. I said, "Well, Marcelo, look, like we'll give you more air on in the Archie show because I knew that it would piss off Archie. It would bring some content, a bit of like Archie explodes type stuff. And yeah, I mean, it ended up he had the birthday stream, and it's become kind of a meme around like you owe me $100 for my birthday, and he continues to do his birthday stream every year. So yeah, I mean, that's the way I saw it, and I pulled him over. It's a bit different than today when on Marcel's last stream on the dungeon, you had MT85, you had Jock, and many people angry at him, telling him, "Hey, man, like this isn't really what we want to see. We didn't like certain things you said." And I kind of told Marcel, I gave him the same advice I gave him when he came here because Marcelo was obviously getting attacked by a lot of people when he came here because Marcelo had done a lot of things in the past that had pissed people off, from releasing JJ's WhatsApp chat to fucking over Archie, talking about the robbery, a ton of stuff, right, that Marcelo did. I told Marcelo, I said, look, if you want to come back and you want to have a place here, you're gonna have to take those hits. You're gonna have to take them on the chin and just keep coming back every day, keep coming back every day, right? Like I think for this period of 7 days, it's a bit of a holiday for him where he's going to get some cash, but he's going to wake up in a few days and have to, sink or swim on his own channel. Realistically, right? I mean, unless Uzi pays $200 a day to keep the guy there, and or he pays him whatever to stay over there, right? Which is maybe what he's going to do. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a time when he's going to have to stand on his own 2 feet and answer for what I think the chat is angry about him for. So it doesn't really change anything. So for me, I'm just sitting back, chilling and watching what's going on, right? Like because it's inevitable. You can kind of see a step forward what's going to happen, and I'll be here to enjoy that content just like you guys are. Acquired Taste says Archie is a bigger star than Loli Marcelo. Yeah, and I think Archie knows that, right? I think he knows he doesn't need to go to other platforms, and I think that is kind of the key to it. Acquired Taste is Archie going to other platforms. I think if Uzi said, "Hey, look, I'll pay you $200 a day. Would you do a show with me like you do with Marcus Allen Frischman on your channel?" Again, you can see here from Archie's message, he's not really wanting to entertain a lot of what Uzi's about, right? He's not that interested in Uzi, but maybe that's an opportunity for him to, to have a type of show that Uzi wants. Maybe, I guess, if that's what Uzi truly wants. But I think that like that's going to be difficult right now because Archie's just not in the mood to work with Uzi. He sees Uzi as somebody who had done stuff on his platform that he wasn't too happy about. And I told Uzi, I said, "Hey man, a couple red super chats and all that kind of goes away." Now Nikki didn't like that, and Nikki ended up ending the show pretty quickly. He got a little pissed off, but I was like, "Well, fuck, man! Like, we're having a bit of fun here, and then you don't have to get that mad because like Uzi's probably gonna see the light and realize they could just send super chats directly to Archie, and then all can be forgiven, right? Because this is the Archie verse, pay to play, baby. That's how it works." Cello is universally disliked. I mean, Cello has his group of people that like him. I've always supported Marcelo. I've always found him fun, and he reached out to me, asked me if he should take the deal, and I said, "Do it, man." Hey, it's at the end of the day, that's why you're here to make money, and if you're getting offered a good deal, why the fuck would I tell you not to take it? What interest do I have for you not to take it? What that I don't want him streaming on Nick's channel in 7 or 8 days? Uzi is probably gonna get tired of paying $200. Marcel's just gonna go back to his old channel anyways. Like you don't really have to do much, for this to play. I think Curly kind of called that out like very quickly that I'm just fucking chilling and having a good time with this. I never got to see Marcel's cock yet. Photos 10. There's a lot floating around. I'm sure you could find it. I think he's doxed his own cock about 50 fucking times. So who knows? Pay to play, Mr. Negus. You heard the man. An Acquired Taste takes no cock block position. He finds that entertaining. Me too, man. I find everything entertaining as well. Uzi says he wants peace. Yeah, look past that. I don't disagree with that. I don't think Uzi doesn't want that. I think maybe he does. I think the way if he wants to get a stream with Archie, I think he needs to realize it's going to take a bit of effort on his side, he may need to super chat the show. He may need to be around the show a bit more, drop a few reds. And over time, Archie will probably forgive him and let him back on. And, he could have his private show with Archie. That's probably the best way to do it. A quick one and done offer. I mean, you can see here past that Archie's just not feeling it. I mean, you see these timestamps, right? Like I messaged him at 5:21. Here's his offer. Pretty simple offer. Uzi wants to pay $200 a day to stream with him like you do with Marcus Allen Frischman and give him dating advice. Now, obviously, I added the dating advice thing. Like I said, I'm very honest about that. I don't have a problem sharing what I said to Archie. He wants to rent you for a week, which is true. He said that himself. If you accept, please say so at the start of your show tonight. Uzi will be listening because obviously nobody else was sending Uzi's message over there, so I sent it. And then Archie replies right away. A minute later, he can fuck himself. I wouldn't. And I said, okay, please let him know that then. If you're not interested, let the guy know. Don't let the guy, don't leave the guy hanging. He's offering you good money. I respect the pay to play. Please let him know that at the start of the stream. I wouldn't accept $1,000. I'm like, all right, man, cool. Like, do you, bro? Like, say my money. Do you? And I guess that's how it is. Now, Suckhorn, I did take care of the fake Suckhorn. We got Dirk Diggler in the chat. I'm a little behind here, so I'm just catching up, riffing with everybody in the chat here because I had a little bit of time. Ryan Hoffrey says, I will not be destroyed. No one is going to destroy you, Marcelo. I think Marcelo, he's being a little over, a little over dramatic, a little melodramatic about the situation. Did he make a mistake? Probably, and will it take him some time to recover? Definitely. I mean, it's not more simpler than that. I mean, the Archieverse has a pretty short attention span, pretty short memory. And a lot of stuff gets forgotten really fucking quick. And it just moves on, right? There's going to be periods of lulls and boredom and everything else that if Marcelo's the only guy streaming, people will show up, right? Like, it's a cycle. And I think in his part, he looked at it and said, well, in the short term, in the next week, I'm not going to be making any money on my show because people are mad at me. So why would I not take Uzi's deal? And I agreed with him. I said, yeah, if you need the money, and Uzi's willing to pay you to just go on there and do whatever, he wants you to do, then do it. Now, I mean, will that, for example, like JB and other people, I don't know. Maybe they may not like that. Maybe there is later repercussions for Marcelo from that perspective. I don't know, right? Like, that also needs to be factored in, right? Because obviously JB was not happy with Nick. And if JB may see this and say, well, fuck, you know what? Fuck this guy. I'm not going to support him if he's just going to do that. I mean, that's a very big possibility, right? So I think these short-term plays sometimes do have long-term consequences, but I don't think Marcelo looks at it that way. I think he looks at the short-term only, and that's what it is. Not for my personal gratification. I'm thinking about the needs of the punters. Apes, can we please play Junk Uzi as the intro? I don't know if I have Junk Uzi. Ape, send a super chat, and I'll see if I can. Let me see if I have it here. I do have it, Ape. Send me a super chat because it's a long clip, man, and I don't have a ton of time. 10, you need to clear the block list. Lux has been rampaging. All right, let me clear that block. If Ape sends a super chat, I'll clear it when that clip plays. Uzi has been more civil as of late, even towards me. Fuck me dead, and has defended me towards Nick. Yeah, I don't think I don't think Uzi has the same beefs that Nick has, right? Like, Uzi's here for his own entertainment. I can respect that, and I think he wants to see what he wants to see, and he's willing to pay for it, right? If he doesn't have I've seen you go back and forth with him, every once in a while, but if he's calmed that down, right? Like, I think this is where people get stuff twisted. I think Uzi somehow thought that like I come on these streams to help Archie or because I'm friends with Archie. And I think this is something that people need to hear point blank, right? Like, if you're seeking a friendship from Archie Luxury on these streams, you're going to be sorely disappointed. I'll give you guys Bear's example here from this, right? So a long time ago, Bear Clooney saw Archie as his friend. Okay, I wasn't around when this happened, but I've heard this story from Bear, and I don't know if you guys remember, but at one point in time, Bear was being banned for money. I think it was like a $20,000 payment to ban him. Like, ER paid the $20,000 or whatever it was. And it was at that point that Bear realized that, Archie's not his friend. Archie is transactional and it's no more simpler than that. And Bear ended up coming back, but from what you guys don't know is Bear came back at that point as an employee. He used to do these things for free before. He used to stream for free. When Bear came back, and this is a couple of years ago, right around the time I came back, Bear was an employee. He was getting paid. He was getting a cut of the super chats, or I don't know if he was getting a cut, but like he was getting a certain amount paid to him to be on the shows, right? And yeah, I mean, Bear realized that he's not friends with Archie. Archie is just somebody who's transactional, and he's here to work. And if Bear's gonna go on the panel, why not get paid, right? Like that's pretty much how it is. Same thing with me, right? Like I'm here to have entertainment. I'm here to troll Archie, ask him a watch question, make fun of him, and I'm paying to do it, right? Pay to play. That's what it is. I mean, Uzi somehow thought I'm trying to be Archie's best fucking friend or something, right? Like I don't need to be Archie's friend. Like I've known Archie longer than most people in the chat have, and I know how that guy is. And there's no friendships here in the Archieverse when it comes to Archie, right? He's an entertainer. He does this for work, right? Like not everybody who goes to work wants to be friends with their customers or with their coworkers, right? That's just, I think everybody can kind of understand that, pretty easily. So it's kind of how it is. Spin doesn't add up. I don't know what that means. Their defense doctored narrative runs about the same as yeah, it's like how is this doctored? So Derek, I sent this screenshot to Marcelo because I knew that Marcelo was going to leak it. Like I know Marcelo just like I know Archie. I know that Marcelo will leak it. I don't really have a problem with that because again, I don't mind what I said here. Like it's pretty simple. Like here's Uzi's offer. Yeah, did I add a bit of spice to it saying that Uzi wants dating advice? I think even if I removed that, I don't think that would have changed Archie's response. If he can go fuck himself, I wouldn't do it. But hey, that's just, that's the way they see it. But hey, look, it's people want to doctor stuff. They want to, they say stuff's doctor. They can say whatever they want. It's all good, man. It's all good. Can Uzi make Goldberg the deal? Look, Goldberg's a different story. Goldberg is actually, I don't know. I think Archie actually likes Goldberg a lot. I don't know if he would call him a friend, but I think I don't think Archie's got a lot of friends. I think his only friend around here is really like Suckerhorn. I think Suckerhorn's an actual friend of Archie's. There's a few people, Dave the Super Collector. I think are probably considered friends, but maybe not even Dave. I think Suckerhorn's really the only friend outside of these streams with Archie. I think he's the only one Archie would just call up just to call up, right? Goldberg, Goldberg's helping on the show. Archie likes having someone to riff off of. That's pretty much it. Goldberg likes Archie. And Goldberg's had his own beefs with Archie in the past too. So, look, Goldberg is a necessary evil, I think, in this case with Archie because shit's just going to be that way until Archie gets, he just needs a panelist to riff off of. It's always been that way with him. If anyone should be getting $200 a show, it's discount to be in the chat. I missed my friend. I heard discount's not banned. I've checked the ban list on the live stream channel. I've removed his ban many times, so I don't know unless Lux is banning him again. I don't know who's banning him, but yeah, I keep removing discounts ban pretty often enough. He's so cruel. Yeah, Goldberg and HR need to deal. Yeah, HR is the guy that does get a little bit of, I don't know. Like I really don't understand the Archie's hatred towards HR. HR just comes around and fucks around a bit, and yeah, I don't get it. I like HR. I think HR is pretty funny. Uzi's Juice Man account is banned. He was super chatting yesterday on the mainstream. I do see a super chat here. You host Wash Talk soon. Tan Uzi for outro, please. Let me do this. I will. I can't change the outro, Ryan, because the outro is already. It gets like automatically set when you start streaming. Let me play that clip right now. I'll unban the ban list here while I do that. It's a few minutes of a clip, and then like I said, I'll unban the ban list for you guys. So let me do that while we play this clip.
In lies and bigot motherfucker, the twisted, endless, empty lies. Junk Uzi, sharp needles ready for venomous dives. Junk Uzi, under deceitful imagine the snitch bitch shivers. Junk Uzi, grasping extreme highs yet helplessly quivers. Junk Uzi, my college boy hick nugget sucking, I'm a spit. Junk Uzi, fraudulent schemer, plotting from the little house. Junk Uzi, shadow by inbred past as your riches disembark. Junk Uzi, dark dreams cloak robed in despair. Junk Uzi, preaching life lies that shred the air. Junk Uzi, sniveling snitch, pathetic with no friends. You a seething motherfucking keyboard bitch, endless nights with no ends. Junk Uzi, feeding on others' talents, my own disdain. You a venomous cry bully bitch with malicious rain. Hey, Uzi needs attention to flex the temporary unit. Fame's plastic imitator shackled by string chains. Junk Uzi, identity lost in rage and disdain. Junk Uzi, desperate fishbowl junkie on a reckless path. Junk Uzi, trading your identity, embracing the other's past. Junk Uzi, street tranny hookers is your relief for life to mock. Junk Uzi, rusty insults drip from a broken rock. Junk Uzi, poisonous mind crushes hollow dreams. Tortured in Pittsburgh, demands to reign. Junk Uzi, glaring overcompensating for love, you cry out in pain. Pathetic snitch who uses others' name. Uncle is beast seething, vengeful, untamed. Junk Uzi, stealing the fishbowl identities, watching the past. You a storm of venom, malevolence fast. Junk Uzi, Uzi dreams of dominance, cursed to last. Gas station life streams and retard island is all you have. False crown crumbles, disdainful rain. Junk Uzi, mirror shatters, time drifts like rain. Junk Uzi, in creeping shadows, festering decay. Junk Uzi, identity fades, becoming gray. CEO of retard island is all you have. Hey, Uzi, Junk Uzi, empire crumbles to sand, venomous and stark, with wrath I stand. Junk Uzi, Junk Uzi. In lies and bigot motherfucker, the twisted, endless, empty lies. Junk Uzi.
All right, that was for you, Ryan Hoffray. I appreciate it. And yeah, you asked about Watch Talk. Look, I don't mind doing Watch Talk. It's been a bit scarce around here on the Archieverse doing Watch Talk. I mean, Archie doesn't do it that much, but I will definitely put an effort to do a couple of shows, talking watches. Maybe I'll do a pre-show. I don't know, man. It's just we'll see how the schedule goes over the next couple of days throughout the New Year's holiday, and see what we can get for you, Ryan Hoffray. But I do appreciate the $2 US, Ryan Hoffray. All right, let's catch up on the chat. So Lucas P says at Uzi PayPal Arch $50 for a vid asking for dating advice. Not real Dave Arch actually 72. I think that look, Lucas, I think that the issue is that Uzi wanted an exclusive of Archie streaming on someone else's platform. And I think right there is the crux of the problem. Like, I think you need to understand who Archie is. Archie never wants to promote anybody's platform but his own. He hates promoting anybody's platform, whether it's Curly's or his or, other platform. You ever seen him promote Goldberg's platform? Like, he doesn't promote Goldberg's on every day. never promotes Goldberg's platform. So this is something that Archie's never done ever, right? So I think your best bet to like I've asked Archie, and I think I've gotten Archie to go on a couple other shows, but he really doesn't want to do it, and he only hops on for like 5 minutes. Like he really doesn't want to spend his time doing that because he barely wants to spend 2 hours on his own show, let alone someone else's show, right? Even if it's for money, he just simply doesn't want to do. He understands he could go on the dungeon with Bateman and probably pump a bit of that money up for Bateman. He still doesn't want to do that, right? Like that's his own damn platform. So my best advice to Uzi is Uzi should probably drop a few reds on Archie if he wants to, you know, get back in the good graces. He needs to have some consistency with it, and Archie may turn a blind eye to some of the transgressions of the past, and everything can be forgotten in the Archieverse with a bit of pay to play. But it does take a little bit more effort than a quick drive by for $200. I mean, that's the way I see it. But look, Archie may accept the deal, and here's the problem, Lucas P. Uzi has rescinded the deal now. He said even if Archie accepts in the morning, which I mean could be a 50-50, he could accept, who knows, but Uzi is now rescinded the deal, so we'll see if that, how that plays out, if Archie does accept, because Uzi did say on the last show with Nick that he's rescinded the deal. He does not want Archie on the platform anymore, so we'll see how it goes, right? So, but yeah, it is what it is. Pasta says, Ryan Hoffrey, we have been attacking each other viciously over the year. Yeah, if you guys have ever seen any of the shows where Pasta has been on with Uzi, they've been going back and forth, right? And look, if Uzi wants to calm down tensions with Pasta, I think Pasta is open to it. Right? It's not really my. It has nothing to do with me. I don't really know what the beef is between that, but it seems like Pasta wants to calm it down. I think Pasta, the issue is that like Archie doesn't know like any of these beefs. He doesn't know what's going on. After he logs off from his show, like he doesn't pay attention to anything. He may get a couple messages from LOX here and there saying, "Hey, here's what's happening." But AC3 is just going to come on and shoot from the hip. He's going to say what he wants to say, and he's not really going to take anybody's influence on that. He's just going to go and do his own thing, right? So it's hard to say, well, that's going to really drop the tensions if Archie goes on that show. I mean, I don't think so. Archie he's never been about promoting other people's platforms, and like I said, there's a lot of people who have platforms on his show that he doesn't promote, so that should tell you something. Deals move very quickly in the scrap world. Deals off next. I really think that like the missed opportunity is sending that kind of an offer to like Oshin, because I think Oshin is a little bit more open to money like that. Oshin obviously has some history with Watch Nick, so I don't know how that would play out, but I think, I think Oshin would have been a lot more of a spectacle to watch. I think that would have been a lot better content because, number one, having Oshin on another platform where Nick could basically talk to him about whatever, to obviously, a lot of Curly's audience watches for Oshin, right? Like, so it could attract other viewers. Curly would obviously be showing clips of it, which would be promoting Nick. Like, that seemed like a better, if that's what you're trying to do, is to bring in attraction to Nick's show that's going to raise viewership, and Oshin O'Malley would have been probably the better choice, and maybe less so Tim. And look, Tim's never going to do it, right? Tim's like, he's like Archie to that extent. He's like a discount version of Archie, right? Like Tim won't do that to promote anybody else, and Tim will just fizzle away, in his own obscurity. Because I mean, what Curly says, the guy like Tim streams like what 3 times a week now. Like, I would be surprised in a year if that guy's not fucking gone, right? There's when people talk about the watch market being down, it is down. I mean, I don't think anybody can deny that it's down. Is it crashed? No, the watch market is not crashed, but there's fewer and fewer people that are attracted to watch collecting because it's not free money anymore, and people don't have free money to play with. So people are being a little bit more frugal about what kind of watches they're purchasing. There's less and less people. And those that are still around right now a lot of them are the ones that were around even before COVID boom. Goldberg, Rancher, me, and many others that, were here before watches really took off. We're still here because we actually are watch collectors. We're actually watch enthusiasts, right? We weren't brought in the last 3 years. We've been collecting for a long time. So I do feel that there is a lot of, I mean, Curly's talked about how people have been driven off, and look, I think that there is some truth to that. There are people that have been driven off for specific reasons, and we've talked about them over the last couple of days. Like Narc drove off Higgy, and Bear's been driven off, and a lot of people have been driven off from the shows. And Bear's driven off people, and Curly's driven off people, and Narc is driven off people, and Nick is driven off people. And I don't think anybody is singularly guilty of that. I think that's what has happened over the last couple of years. But I don't think, like, if you go back in time and you watch a stream from 3 years ago, like, there's like 90% of the people are people that, like, we wouldn't even know who the fuck they are. You'll see names that you're gonna be like, who the fuck is that? Like, like horological Freddy Krueger. Where the fuck is that guy? Like, did someone troll horological Freddy Krueger, off the streams? Like, I don't fucking think so, bro. I think that guy just either got bored or he's got another name or whatever it may be. Maybe it's Turk Diggler. I don't fucking know, right? But some people have, and some people just find the show boring, right? Like, they're not interested in the show anymore, and that's okay, right? But that, I would say, is more to do with Archie. Archie's probably driven most of the people away, not so much, and not to justify the toxicity, but I don't think you can go and finger point and say, well, just because Narc's an asshole to Tooser and he drove Tooser away, doesn't mean that Narc drove everybody away, or Curly, or Nick, or Bear. And look, when Bear kind of backed off from a lot of this because of the drama, I said, Bear, look, I get it, but like, you contributed to this just as much as anybody else, dude. Like, I mean, I don't know what you want me to say to you, bro. Like, that you contributed just like everybody else, man. And that's just how she goes. I understand Archie's view because I felt the same way about Uzi, but Uzi sent the olive branch / very cautious. I mean, you got to kind of look at it in Archie's perspective too, Pastor, right? Uzi did come on. He's N-bombed Archie's show. He's done a lot of transgressions on Archie's show that, would risk his income, right? Like, Archie was not happy about that. And you kind of have to see his viewpoint there. And I fail to see why people wouldn't, understand that Archie may not want to have anything to do with the guy, even if there's, a sweet paycheck in it, right? Like, olive branch, I think, look, the best way to send an olive branch is, to support his show on his channel and, show some longevity to that. And again, I don't think that's what Uzi's trying to do, right? I think Uzi's trying to have his, his quick kick and, his quick fix, his quick troll, and then move on, right? I don't think he's necessarily being genuine around wanting to lower tensions with Archie, in the long term. Uzi got his money's worth for the rejected offer attention. Yeah, like, I think there's some value to that acquired taste. I guess you could see it that way. Saved $1,400. Yeah, I mean, I don't really think that, like, just let's play out the Marcelo thing, right? So he's spending $1,400 on Marcelo, and he has to pay Nick the $1,400 as well, right? So he's paying $2,800 plus his bonus, right? Like, okay, he does that for a week, and then Marcelo goes back to his channel and does content for $2 a day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know who's getting trolled here, acquired taste. I mean, I would say that it's Uzi getting trolled. Kind of, self-face blasting here, spending that much money. But hey, if that's what that guy wants to do, man, I don't believe you could tell another man how to spend their money. And if he wants to spend his money that way, you know how Doc says it, right? Your money wasted, even though Docs is allowing money to flow through his channel now, right? Like, your money wasted is Docs won't, he won't say that when it's money flowing to his channel, but he's willing to say that for everybody else, I guess. The drama is thick. Maybe it is. Archie, I'm trying to protect you, and I ban these undesirables for whatever reason. Tan unbans. Oh yeah, it's LOX. Okay. I think LOX's only issue is that there are some accounts that do doxing. Like, one of the accounts that's banned in the dungeon is actually JB's full name, so that's going to remain banned. Look, we're going to have to go. If I can recognize an account like Rich Mitch's or Uzi's, yeah, I'll remove that, because they are people that are, around, and they can come and have a good time and chat and do whatever the fuck they want, right? They, I don't really have a beef with that, but yeah, there are certain limits to it, I guess, Dirk, in that sense. No, I know a prophet, a real one. 2026 is the last year. In a few weeks, the great unraveling will start. Yeah, I mean, everyone's been saying that about Archie for years. I don't think Archie will go away. Look, I've been around when Archie was doing live streams for like less than $50. I remember times when I'd buy a watch and I would send Archie a message on WhatsApp saying, hey man, like, you want to do a live stream? I'll send you $25. And he'd fire up a stream, do an hour stream, talk about watches, and then he'd bounce. Like, I mean, Archie, I don't think you've seen rock bottom of Archie and what he's willing to do for $1. But, again, if he doesn't want to do something, he's kind of pushing back these days, and it doesn't seem like he wants to do it with Uzi. And even if he does, even if he wakes up and says, you know what, fuck it, right? Like, I'm going to do the deal, no problem. Uzi has rescinded the offer, boys, which is, I don't know, maybe a little premature. Could have seen a little bit more. We could have squeezed a little bit more content out of it. And Curly was trying to push the idea of it because, yeah, I think like there's some circular drama benefit to it, I guess. And it's a bit of a self-face blast to spend that much money on Marcelo when he's just gonna go back to his channel in a week and do his thing, right? Like, okay, that's if that's what you want to do, man, cool. Jax has no friends. Yeah, Dirk, you've been on. It is hard on for Jax, man. I don't really watch Jax's show that much, so yeah, I don't really know what's going on with that. For 20K, I would boot any friend. Yeah, I mean, I think Bear took it again, right? Like Bear was very much for many years wanting to be friends with AC3, and I kind of knew this about AC3. Is just it's a transactional thing with him, and I said it on Nick's show about an hour ago, where I was like, yeah, like you have to understand. I don't. People say, oh well, Archie's channel is this, Archie channel that, right? Like you've done this, you've done that. It's like cool, man, but I'm here for me. Like, why do I have to care about? If you don't like the way the show is going, let's say I'm talking drama, right? I'm going and I'm super chatting for drama. If you don't like where that's going, well, super chat for watches. You can change the narrative yourself, right? Like, so why should somebody who's spending their own money be told, well, you can't do that when, from people that aren't spending their money, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, this is a business. So anybody can change the narrative. And, Uzi is willing to put his money to change that dynamic. And I'm supporting that. If he wants to do that, great. I don't know if it's a great value for money. Like I told Uzi, I'm a value shopper. And I don't see, like, if it was O'Sheen, yeah, I could see some value in that. I think that would definitely, he could definitely get the content going for a number of the shows, bit of back and forth. I think that would have been the one I would have gone after for me. AC3, I mean, what are you going to have AC3 go on there and just stare at the screen doing his taxes? Like, I mean, it's not, you're getting that same value from Marcelo looking on the screen with a fucking bird on his head, bro. Like, I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you. All right. Yeah, this is kind of what Frank V is saying. Every time you clear the block list, chat fills up with racist N-words, anti-Semitic spam. I don't say this helps anyone, to be honest. Yeah, like I think that's where you got to be careful. I try to unban people whose names or accounts are identifiable. Like Rich Mitch was banned. I unbanned Rich Mitch. Uzi's account was banned. I unbanned Uzi. Like those are identifiable accounts. The ones that aren't identifiable, they'll stay banned. The Archiverse will be swallowed by a black hole. Maybe eventually it will. I don't know, until Archie decides to put down the microphone and right off into the sunset. Look, I can't see Archie going away for a long time. Like he's gonna, if he can wake up and go into his studio and make a buck, like why the fuck wouldn't he, right? Like it's kind of common sense. Like why would he not? And he even said it to me. He messaged me, I don't know, a few weeks ago saying, "Tan, is it over?" I said, "Archie, are you kidding? Like, are you serious? Like, you're gonna tell me you're not gonna just get up, roll out of bed, and go into your studio and stare into the screen and collect money?" And he just laughed and he said, "Yeah, you're right." Like, you need to know AC3, guys. Come on. I think a lot of you guys know this stuff. It's just, yeah, you just gotta put two and two together, boys and girls. Put two and two together. Remember, 2026 is the last year, and hopefully Suckhorn is saying I'm correct in the sense that probably Archie's only friend outside these streams is the Suckhorn. It's the only guy he calls. Archie doesn't call me to talk, just shoot the shit. He'll call me if there's something stream related that he wants to talk about. And look, he will take my call. Absolutely. If I called him and I wanted to shoot the shit with him, sure. Like, I think he understands that I've supported the show for a long time. And, there is some element to it where we are friendly, I guess you could say. But it's different than him and Suckhorn, where he'll call Suckhorn on Christmas, he'll call Suckhorn on his birthday. They'll have chats about life that are not related to the streams. And I think that's what you need to understand is like there's really the only friend he really has is him. Like I don't see him friendly. He's friendly with many, but he's not friend to most. Buy that grill watch now before it's too late, boys and girls. Buy that grill watch now. I think grails always shift, and once you attain your grail, I think that there's always something to be desired, I guess. I think a lot of watch collectors, they go through this kind of cycle where it's aspirational and you move up and up and up. And when you acquire everything, or you've acquired so much, we're all, I think, on the road to a one and done. I think eventually, as people age, their eyesight goes. You don't need 20 fucking watches in your collection. It becomes a hassle. It's like owning a massive house, right? Like, it's nice when you're young, right? In your 40s, your 50s, even your early 60s, it's nice. But when you have to maintain that upkeep, or you have to pay to maintain that upkeep, people don't want to do that, right? They downsize as they get older. And I think that's what happens for a lot of collectors is eventually they're just going to go down to a one and done. And look, the answer is probably going to be Rolex. Maybe it's Patek Philippe for some of you guys. I don't know. But I would say it's most likely Rolex for most of us. You're going to find yourself a nice steel sports Rolex, one that you like, whether it's a GMT or a Submariner, maybe a Datejust, could be a Day-Date. Everyone's probably just going to go to a Rolex and look, they're going to enjoy it because they have one nice watch on the wrist and they're going to have a ton of nice memories. I think that's what the journey is about, guys. I don't think it's about hoarding and possessing. I think hoarding and possessing is a point in time. I think the memories, the journey, the knowledge, I think that's what it's about. And if you can find satisfaction in that, I think you'll be happy. But you're not going to have happiness in material goods. That's just not going to happen. I think it's really the memories. Uzi and his lame 3-corner shackle. Yeah. Dirk Diggler, I have always said this: friends, love, hate, and legend are the most overrated words here. Yeah, look, I mean, Curly calls it low effort friends, whatever. I love you, I love you, I hate you, I hate. Nobody hates nobody here, man. Like, is it funny to troll people? Like, sure, I like trolling Nick. It's funny. I don't mind trolling anybody. I mean, I've trolled most people here. I've trolled Curly, I've trolled Nick, I've trolled Archie, I've trolled Lux, I've trolled Jock, Bateman, even. Like, I mean, it's not personal. It's not personal, guys. It's just a bit of fun. People can get mad about it, and sometimes it does cross the line, which we've seen in recent times, where I don't think it should go that far. But any of my trolling, you don't see me say personal attacks to people. I don't really need to do that. I don't really. It's not really why I'm here. I'm here for a laugh, and I look at this as television, right? You log on, you watch it for an hour or two, and you log off, and you do your other shit, right? It's a bit of an escape for everybody, and if you treat it that way, guys, you'll have the fucking time of your life. If you don't take it too seriously, if you don't catch feelings, right? And I think that's where, when you catch feelings, I've always said this to Bear. I'm very open about this with Bear. When you catch feelings, bro, like that's when you probably need to turn it off, because look, Archie is he's a personable guy. A lot of people like him. Some people look up to him. Mike the Snake looks up to him. And yeah, look, he's fun, man. He's a fun guy. I've hung out with him many times. He's a cool guy to hang out with. But again, are we great friends? No. I mean, he said that himself. I've said that. I think we both understand that. I'm here for entertainment. He's here to entertain. Why does it have to be more than that, right? Like, it doesn't. I don't need to seek friends that are Archie. He's if I want to ask him a watch question, or he wants to ask me a watch question, yeah, he'll send me a message and we can do that. Wouldn't charge me for that, and I wouldn't, not stop my day to respond to him if I was free to do so. Like, I mean, that's just like, I get people overcomplicate it, right? Like, and when you catch feelings, that's when shit fucking goes. That's often when shit goes fucking south, Dirk. And look, people may see that with Nick, right? They may see that with, hey, Nick was a great friend or whatever, and Nick's very transactional too, dude, and he has a bad day and he lashes out at people. And I think if you understand how Nick works, you probably let that roll off your shoulders, right? Like Patrick Philippe, often Nick would lash at Patrick, and Patrick would just let it roll off his shoulders because he knew how Nick was. He's like, yeah, it's just how Nick is, and that's just, if you can live with that, then you move on, right? But look, some people get a little triggered, right? Nick's been triggered. He gets a little upset at me all the time. Oh, it's just Tan's narrative, and oh, Tan's doing this to get me, and oh, it's like this, it's like that. I'm just here to fucking laugh, bro. Like, I mean, if it's easy enough to troll you and get a laugh out of you every fucking day, I'm gonna do it, man. Shortest point from A to B, boys. Shortest point from A to B. And look, I'm all about efficiency and value shopping. HR won't make it. The great unraveling is coming. Ooh, very sinister words there. King Duckford, only a fool would take anything. Yeah, man, it's not fucking serious, guys. Come on, guys. It's like, who the fuck takes this shit seriously? We're on the fucking internet. We're on men's jewelry channels talking, circle jerking fucking like two brands, like Rolex and Patek Philippe. Like, we're circle jerking two fucking brands, guys. Like, really? Like, do you not see the joke in that? Like, it can't be much more than that. And we get bored. We get bored. We start fucking trolling each other. That's what men do. Put a bunch of men in a room, and you've obviously got that kind of snobbery factor to watches, and people start making fun of other people's watches. It happens in every community. It happens in the car community, fucking all these collecting communities. People just go at each other and fucking talk shit, man. It's no different, guys. It really isn't. I guess people just are not that diversified in terms of like their friend circles, I guess. I don't know. 10. Archie isn't going to like this. Archie isn't going. Archie knows this. He's heard this from me, man. Archie, like a few weeks ago, came on the show and says 10. You know, he was joking about it because I think Lux sent him the clip or whatever, right? You know, and he says, 10, you and I are not friends, right? Right? Like kind of like wink, wink, nudge, nudge type of a thing. And it's like, yeah, dude. Like, I mean, I think you understand that, and you've always known that I've been here to have a good time and have some fucking fun. Like, I don't need a friend in AC3, guys. Like, you got a friend in Archie. You know, McNugget Uzi, AC3 Dungeon asked me. Uzi and Rich Mitch have been freed from the ban list. Hey, Rich Mitch is in the chat. We freed the Rich Mitch. This clip is, let's play a Marcelo clip. I haven't played a Marcelo clip in a long time. Let's find a Marcelo clip for you, Dirk.
What you want is a patona. What you need is no patina. All I want to say, Brian, is I respect you just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. WICPKT. All the counts are 0 to me. WISPQT. You are shit to me.
Bad brain.
You can't get a better cartoon character than fucking Marcelo, guys. Like, I know people are gonna hate on him and be mad at him and stuff like that, but Marcelo's a fucking cartoon character. I don't hold no grudges with Marcelo. Like, like I said, he sent me a message. Hey, can I take the deal? I said, dude, do whatever you like, bro. It's all good. Do you make that money? Lux's loan request says, I have no cock to block. They think they are gods, but they are not. They will be bleeding like hungry donkeys when they realize that God's justice is real heavy today. Welcome back, Rich Mitch, who says evil Lux. I don't really know why Lux is banning you, Rich Mitch, but yeah, look, I saw your name was on that list, and I like Rich Mitch. I've never had a problem with Rich Mitch. Rich Mitch has always been cool with me. Give MT85. Didn't MT85 have a wrench here? I thought I saw him on the dungeon yesterday with a wrench. But yeah, man, for sure. We will give MT80. I don't know why. MT85 also changes his username every once in a while, so I don't know if that's the case. But yeah, man, if I see MT85, I will definitely give him his wrench. No issues. AI has no limits. Yeah, look, I think the AI stuff is, I think it's okay for clips every once in a while. I think once you make them super long, people get a little bit of clip fatigue, and yeah, it's just I prefer kind of the old school. I like people coming on, having a chat, organic. When shit pops off, it's more organic like that. People like to say it's scripted. I think you need to kind of look at it more like reality TV. Like when a reality TV show happens, you'll have like a bunch of contentious characters that like people don't either probably won't get along or just don't get along. You put them in a house together and you crank up the heat, right? Like you're not scripting a beef, but shit's gonna pop off, right? And I think that's where a lot of these quote unquote bum fights come from, is people just fucking go after each other. And like I said, it's men's jewelry, right? There's only how many times we can talk about a fucking steel Submariner before we start eating our own, as Curly says, eating our own. But all fun and games, guys. And look, like I don't think we can go and pinpoint that any one individual has driven people off. Like I said, many people, Curly, Bear, Narc, me, Nick, anybody who's been part of the toxicity, Lux, whatever, Jock, other people, like everybody's contributed to, I guess, that environment that's there. And I mean, if you think of the Archie Luxury channel, you probably found this channel because you were searching for watches or Louis Vuitton or whatever, and you stayed because of the crass comedy. Maybe you showed up during the TPG beef and you saw videos of Archie attacking TPG. Maybe you came for the drama. there's a lot of people that aren't even into watches, right? Jefferson Exotic's not into watches. Curly's not into watches. Narc's not into watches. They're here because they enjoy the fucking drama. They enjoy the fighting. They enjoy that part of it, right? That is part of the Archieverse. When I talk about three pillars, you can't strip that away. If you just sanitize the Archieverse into boring watch talk, I mean, like Archie, I'll be honest with you guys, he has knowledge of watches that he's experienced, but ask him about new watches, and the answer you get is, "Oh, it's expensive." He'll go straight to the price. It's expensive, and move on. He won't give you the same form of like in-depth review that he would of a watch that he has experience with. If you ask him about an 18238 date date, he'll give you a lot better of a response than sending him to Monochrome today and looking at the latest watch because he doesn't know shit about it. So Archie's knowledge is limited. It really is. And if I really wanted to talk watch talk, or I wanted to get watch knowledge, I'll go to Tim Masso, or I'll go to other channels that are more attuned to that kind of content. They're not here, but I won't go to Tim Masso's for fucking comedy, right? It's just gonna be dry watch talk. That's why you come here. You come here for the fuck. Like I said, it's that Simpsons episode. Come for the freak, stay for the food, right? Like that's why we watch this show, guys. Like, if you don't understand that, like, trying to sanitize shit ain't the answer. Lexi Poop is unbearable. Look, and that's also another thing, Matt Lindell, is the ability to be free and have your opinion. And, not everybody's got to agree. Like, for years, I didn't agree with Sucklehorn. Him and I have gone back and forth for years. I haven't agreed with Archie. I haven't agreed with Bear. Like, they haven't agreed with me. Like, you should be allowed to say that, like, freely. And as long as you stay within limits, right? Because I think that's where Lux kind of gets into it, saying certain things cross the limit. But you should be able to say, hey, the show is not good or the show is good. And, Archie doesn't even read the fucking chat anyways, right? So why the fuck does it matter? When he does read the chat, he does get mad and he starts banning everybody himself, which I definitely find pretty funny. You never said one ill syllable about anyone. Rich Mitch, Happy New Year. Yeah, I don't really know what the issue is. Is there anyone Lux hasn't bended? I don't know, man. Lux is gonna do him. And look, he's got his reasons, and I can't keep up with every fucking show. So, when I see people that are, I would say regulars, you could say, in the Archieverse, well, the regulars should be able to stick around because the regulars want to watch the show and they want to chat in the comments and say a bunch of bullshit. I don't really see a problem with that. Ryan's getting a lot of value for those $2. Absolutely, man. We're all about giving value here. I do see another super chat from Clive Wanker, $1 New Zealand dollar. I think this is a screenshot of old Clive. Hey, look, Clive's looking good, man. Shaved off his beard. For those that don't remember, Clive used to be like the face of the Archie Luxury fucking live stream, the old Friday Night Live with Clive. Clive used to read all the super chats, and his banter was the same with Archie. There was a bit more watch talk, and I think it was a bit more of an interesting time because Clyde actually had, he was buying watches. He was a lot more interested in watches. So the old Live with Clives were pretty fun. Let me try to catch up a little bit more with the chat here. Money will wash away your sins. That's how it works in the Archieverse. Pay to play. Even JJ is Pontiff-esque. Look, JJ doesn't really want to bring comedy to his show, right? Like, his show is about cleaner watch talk. More of it's the whole thing. It's called the Watch Hangout, right? It's a hangout to talk about watches. It's a different dynamic. When you think of the Pontiff, right? The word the Pontiff, it in and of itself is a joke. He calls himself the Pontiff. This fucking guy who, who was told by Teddy Ballsack to run a 45-second clip about the one watch he wore the most in 2025. The Pontiff decides to run a 3-minute narrative about the watches that are no longer in his collection and how life is hard, right? Like, it's just, the word Pontiff in and of itself is a fucking joke. What happened to Higgy streaming the Christmas market? You have to ask Higgy, man. Higgy's not been, he's been not in the best moods, I would say, with all the stuff that's been happening. Not probably recently stuff, because I don't know how much he's watching, but just the shit that's been going on. I tried to convince Higgy to do something, and Higgy's gonna do Higgy, right? Maybe he just didn't feel the environment was good enough. I did talk to him, and I did say, look, maybe it's not the best idea given kind of what's happening. This was when all the doxing was going on, and there's a lot of like heat. I kind of gave him my 2 cents, but like, again, Higgy's gonna do what he's gonna do. But that is just the case. Please watch the silver market when it opens in Japan/Shanghai. I think anyone calling anyone a fake veteran without hard evidence is disgraceful. I agree with that. All right, let's keep going here. If you have any chance to buy physical silver today, so we got Rich Mitch who's spruiking metals, spruiking commodities markets here. Clive's Potato Head. Fuck, I remember that fucking troll account. Clive's Potato Head. Dirk Diggler, this whole doxing from JB and Nick will take some time to recover. Will take us some time to recover. Although there are some dumbasses that continue to contribute. Yeah, like I said on the last time I was on the dungeon, there's no need for any of that shit. There's no room for any of that shit. 99.9% of us don't want to see that shit. We don't want to see any of this stuff, whether it's, Nick's family or Nelson or other people that are becoming, getting roped into this stuff, like whether it's directly to people that are, here in the Archieverse or it's associated to people that are not related to this. None of it should be happening. I don't think anybody supports that. And yeah, I don't think it needs to be said. And look, it probably will take some time. I think Nick is probably doing the best he can right now, just kind of trying to have some fun, doing a bit of trolling. I think that's a good direction to go in. I don't think that there's anything better he can do about that. And then, like you said, it's going to take some time for people to recover. And it is what it is, right? Like that's just how it goes, right? You can't really undo what's been done, and there's a lot of spilled milk. And one thing I'll tell you, Dirk, is the Archieverse does evolve a lot, right? Like Curly was talking about, well, where's Mr. Zoso, guys? Where's Mr. Zoso? It's like, dude, like Mr. Zoso is gone for whatever reason he's gone, whether he finds the show boring. I don't think anybody attacked Mr. Zoso and drove him off. I think the guy just got fucking done with the show. He didn't want to watch it anymore. Didn't like it for whatever reason and bounced, right? Whether that's toxicity, whether that's Archie himself being boring, whatever it may be. But also, I think where Curly really failed to give the full story of what's going on in the Archieverse. It's not necessarily about the people that left. Let's talk about the people that actually joined us this year. We've had a lot of new people join us. Chief Tit joined middle of the year, the old watermelon fucker. Now he's on the panel all the time. New panelist. We had Jay Anthony join, the show. I reached out to Jay Anthony earlier this year. Jay Anthony, had come back on his own show, like he had fired up his own channel. And I reached out to him. I said, hey man, would you mind, copping on with the Archie Luxury show? Because Jay Anthony was making videos, when he was active around the same time Archie was. And Jay Anthony was like, yeah, I'm a big fan of Archie's. I have no problems. And I know that if Archie, messaged Jay Anthony would hop on the show. And Archie's just like that. He doesn't message anybody. But, if Archie did send him a message, he'd hop on. Archie, we've had, Jay Anthony join the show. We had Irwin, right? Irwin, watch chat, 888. He has his own channel. Irwin never actually would he never showed his face on his own channel, by the way. For those that don't know, I think Irwin's got like 8,000 subs on his channel, watch chat 888. And he never showed his face. He actually only shows his face on Archie's show. He did his face reveal on Archie's show. And in his show, he's just like talking and he's showing watches and stuff. We had Irwin join. We had Chief Tit join. We had Jay Anthony join. We had, new punters, new donors, Black Cat 997, MT85, new panelists. So yeah, we've lost some people, or people are no longer coming around. But the way the Archieverse is it evolves. People ask, why do you split the viewers? Why do you stream on both the Archie Luxury live stream and the Archie Luxury channel? Well, the reason for that is that Curly likes to use this term, the fishbowl, meaning it's finite, right? It's a finite bowl where you can't get out and everybody's in this bowl. I think that only applies to all the satellite channels, whether that's Tim Wright, whether that's JJ, whether that's Curly, whether that's Nick. These are satellite channels, you could say. Archie's got an 80,000 sub channel on his main channel called the Archie Luxury channel. He's got most of the people that sub there don't watch his live stream. So when he has a live stream up every single day, somebody may get a notification and may be like, fuck, I bought a new watch. Let me check out what Archie's saying. And oh shit, I could send him a message and through a super chat and connect with him. And then they get, then they join the live streams, right? MT85 started on the Archie Luxury channel and didn't know that there was a live stream channel until people told him. And then he moved over to the live stream channel. And now he joins all these other channels, right? Like it is a fishbowl for everybody else, but not for AC3 because he's got multiple channels. He's got the Paul Pluto channel, which has like 20,000 subs. He's got the main Archie Luxury channel that has 80,000 subs. Like he's got, and we saw this in Watches and Wonders when Bart Gronefeld went up to AC3 and was like, holy fuck, it's you. And Bart Groenefeld's a fucking, he's a big time executive in the watch industry. And, he even knows Archie from those videos. Probably doesn't watch his live streams, but this is how people get pulled in, right? So that's why he does it. So fishbowl for some, not for everybody, I would say. Trump ruined his business. Yeah, Archie used to be the biggest fucking Trump supporter, and now he fucking hates Trump. I love that. I don't know. You guys are talking to Rich Mitch about his metal trading. We got Liberty Spot, a good friend of mine, in the chat. What's going on? Liberty Spot says Uzi doesn't understand some things that you fuck, you can't unfuck. Yeah, Liberty Spot. Look, I think that's the way Archie sees it is, Uzi's definitely has transgressions on his channel, and maybe he may need to pay penance to gain Archie's favor again. I think this quick drive-by may not work. That's probably why it didn't work. But if Uzi sticks around and sends a bunch of red super chats and is consistent about that, Archie may look the other way, right? He's a bit of a whore like that, you could say. People pumping their investment bags in unrelated chats is generally indicative of a local euphoric top. Yes, Pavel, I would tend to agree. I'm gonna get past all this fucking silver and gold fucking talk because that really doesn't interest me. Dirk Diggler, I love how Acquired Taste plays nice here, but 10 minutes later we'll talk massive shit in another show. That's okay, man. That's okay. I'm not here to make friends. I don't need people to like me. I do appreciate the 60 viewers that are joining the dungeon. It's, I always found it difficult, to understand how all these content creators like the show needs guests. The show needs guests. Oh, can someone? I'm sending the links out, guys. It's like, man, like if you can't come on and command a fucking audience, like what the fuck are you doing here? Like, I don't know, man. I really found this fucking that difficult, but it is what it is. But look, I don't need people to like me, dude. That's okay. Acquired Taste is free to say whatever he likes. I'm all about freedom of speech, man. And yeah, I can't be more simpler than that. If a man wishes to spend his money on a banana car and fake pawn shop Rolex, who are we to judge? For you, Mike the Mistake, you get the Santa Claus clip for that one.
Okay. I said the story isn't as real as what they're explaining. It's not the real story they give us.
Those three wise men were guided by an alien who guided them to Santa Claus's birth, and then they brought Santa Claus gifts of gold, incense, and myrrh, and he was raised in the Middle East, but then moved to the South Pole around age 24, I believe, and set everything up, and put it in motion, and then he went through his whole crucifixion thing, comeback thing, and disappear thing.
My favorite part of that clip is where he starts, "Oh no," and he fucking just goes on, man. That was for you, Mike the Mistake. We got Forbin Colossus in the chat. None of the offers or proposed deals follow through. A lot of theory, but little moves far from status quo. Look, like I said, I think Uzi's approaching it the wrong way. You want Archie's favor, you gotta pay homage to the Pontiff for a little bit of time before you're gonna fucking be able to pull that kind of a troll. But look, like I said, if Archie accepts this morning, apparently Uzi's rescinded the deal, guys. I don't know. I think he may be pulling the plug a little too soon on that one. I think Uzi needs a bit of training on the long troll because that may have had legs. But like I said, I think Uzi's better shot would have been with Oshino money. Oshino Mali would have been excellent because that would have brought content for Nick. That would have brought content for Curly. We would have trolled that shit. Narc would have hopped on. Like fucking, that would have been fucking mayhem. Uzi could have trolled Pazuzu with that stuff, man. Like there would be no limit if Uzi had gotten Oshin on the fucking panel. Archie's a fucking, we're beating the dead horse, man, guys. Come on. We're beating a dead horse here, guys, and, gets a little boring. Lux's problem is that he claims to only ban for actual bad actors, but it's often people just being mean to him. Yeah, I mean, Pablo, have you not seen Bear do that? Bear used to do that all the time, right? Second you fucking said something mean to Bear, you fucking get the ban hammer, dude. It's not surprising. That's why a lot of people didn't like Bear, right? Like I think a lot of people forget. And that's just how it is. I mean, I've seen that. I'm not really that thin skinned. So Dirk is like, well, Acquired Taste talk shit about you, bro. Like, oh man, okay. Like, I give a fuck what Acquired. I don't fucking care. What Dirk, like, how does acquired taste in any way, shape, or form affect me? Like, really? Like, I mean, you can't. And I think this is kind of the fallacy that a lot of folks have, right? Especially content creators. The fallacy to want to be loved by everybody. Like, being loved and hated is kind of that yin and yang, right? You could be the most hated guy in the Archieverse and people will watch your shit because they hate you, and you could be the most loved guy in the Archieverse and people will watch your shit because they love you. It's when they're indifferent to you is when you got a fucking problem. When they're kind of like bored with you and there's no interest in you. Like Marcelo, I guess the way he looked at it and the advice I could have given him was like kind of twofold. It could have been, no, don't take the deal from Uzi, but you're gonna have to work this shtick a certain way to be kind of the villain, and that's gonna drive people to watch your show because you're saying some outlandish shit, or you're saying some stuff that, and it's a very difficult way to do it. And again, Marcelo's probably not the best to give that advice because he'd probably fuck it up. So I kind of said to him, I said, take the deal, dude. Like, if you need to make money now, do it, right? Like, I don't think you're going to have the chops to be able to go and run that kind of a narrative yourself where you're kind of that bad guy and you're creating content that's like, it's so vicious that it's interesting people to see. It is a very difficult thing to do. A guy like the Narc could probably do that, to some extent, but Narc can never run a stream himself, right? He's kind of a drive-by guy, but the Narc has qualities in him that could have probably run that and spun it around and gone a different way. But yeah. This is an interesting one, Rufus. Green Room returns. Am I the only guy, out here that thinks the Green Room shit's a little bit of a fucking like meh? Like in this kind of modern day of drama, like how the drama just pops off every day and there's something new and there's something fucking crazy going on every day. Like Green Room running a premiere video of like, oh, we'll see you on January 1st. Like, it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, you had your chance. You had the captive audience on Christmas. Like, the fuck is this? Like, I'm not gonna wait around for Green Room to put out another fucking like dumbass video, dude. Like, I like Green Room, but like, I think Green Room's out of his element here. I think it's just like the Archieverse has moved on. The way he trolled was, I mean, it's good like 3 years ago, but like in today's day and age, I think Green Room's gonna have to step it up a bit. I think it's a little fucking boring, and I didn't really find it that interesting. True that. I'm not like the shroom. The shroom. Where the fuck is that? We'll play that's for Pavel. Here we go.
Come on, mate, I'm not like the shroom! The shroom! I'm not like the shroom! Answer me call, man. Come on. I'm a big fan, man. Come on. Answer the call, Arch. Love the Pontiff! Love the Pontiff!
Yeah, man. I think Green Room, I think he peaked a couple years ago. I think it's going to take him some time. And his last, whatever, troll, whatever you want to call it, meh. 3 out of 10, boys. 3 out of 10. I didn't find it that interesting. Marcelo is either the worst spy or the best spy. Fuck me, daddy spies on every side. Nah, he's just treacherous. Like, the reason why I shared that screenshot of what Archie said to Marcelo was I knew that he was going to send it straight to Nick and send it straight to Uzi. And I thought those guys would be happy that I was helping them get the offer to Archie because nobody else was. They got a little mad that I added like, oh, it's for dating advice. Like, okay, guys, like, they don't have a fucking sense of humor over there on the Watch Nicholas Network. These fucking guys, just have no sense of humor. They like to tell everybody else that nobody else's jokes are funny, but they, I'm not seeing a lot of humor from those fuckers. So I don't know, man. But look, I think they played it the wrong way. And now Uzi has rescinded the offer, which, so, at this point, doesn't really matter anyways. Pavel, you don't make any content. No, Pavel doesn't make content. He's not a content creator. We got more silver talk here from Rich Mitch, trying to fucking pump and dump that silver, baby. I thought the USA already classified it. I don't know what the fuck this means. The Quail's revenge. I don't know how much revenge this is fucking. You see that fucking video, Pavel? It's like, what revenge is this fucking guy fucking doing, man? Like, what would have been more interesting, Pavel, actually, this year was Perth Luxury was like, he was leaking that he was going to potentially come back. And I thought that was going to be really fucking interesting because Perth Luxury obviously had a serious beef with Archie. They had the whole like customs thing that was going on with them a couple of years ago. And then Perth was back, and Perth was actually like talking about how he was going to leak more of that story. So I was like, fuck, this is going to be interesting. And then Perth kind of backed out of it or fucking ran off or something like that. Like, Perth's been around. Like, you see him infrequently around JJ's, and he's come around Scotch Down Unders, but I thought that would have been a little bit more interesting than kind of whatever the Screen Room stuff is going to be gonna happen over the next couple of days because I don't know. I don't really see anything that fucking interesting from Green Room. We got the Watch Apprentice, good friend of mine in the chat, says, Tan, it would be money for old rope with Uzi. Archie doesn't listen anyways. Yeah, he just doesn't, right? Like, Archie he'll do what he wants to do. And, like I said, he barely puts enough effort into his own show. You think he's going to fucking go somewhere else? Like, you see him on the Math show, he's fucking staring into space, right? Like, he's not even fucking putting effort in that when Math is actually paying him for that show. Archie has done it, the It's Over narrative, more often than Cello switches sides. That is very true, Jimmy. A very astute observation from you. My parents never listened to me. I don't think I don't think many people's parents listen to them, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. I love the look on their boat. I don't know what this means. All right, I'm going to go through. There's a lot of chats here, guys. I apologize. I'm a little bit behind. Tobacco and vanilla, we're getting into fucking fragrance talk. Mike the Snake is 58 years old. Why does he need to look up to? He's actually older than AC3. You're absolutely right. I don't know, man. Mike the Snake has this like soft spot for Archie because he was I think a lot of people were in a bit of a bad situation during COVID. And, he kind of sees Archie as a savior, somebody who helped him get through COVID. And I think a lot of us have had ups and downs in life and found some joy in the show, whether it's, laughing at Archie's content or hopping on and talking to other people, escaping. Like, that's what this place is about, right? People talk about the whole men's health group, right? It is that to an extent until we start fucking eating our own and then fucking getting vicious, I guess. I don't know. The best television soap opera ever our universe. That's true, Pasta. Like, this is stuff you can't find on Netflix. You can't find on, television. It's very unique where you're going to be able to interact with like this amount of people, people from all over the world, different tastes, different backgrounds, different life experience. We've had people on these shows that were like, living in trailer parks to multimillionaires, content creators, like everything, man. Like regular people, regular middle class dudes, women that are into watches. We've seen everything around here. And yeah, like it's just a place where it's very unique, and I think a lot of people wouldn't want that kind of stuff to go away. That's why I think lowering tensions, having a good time with this stuff, I think is important. So, turn on your camera in the back if that's actually you. Just turn it on. I won't put you on the screen. Just turn on your camera. We got Uzi who's sitting in the back. I want to make sure that it is actually him. So you can ask him to turn on his camera, and I won't put him on just to confirm it's actually Uzi. And I will let you on if you turn on your camera. While he does that, I'm going to continue on the chat. Uzi, if you can hear me, I know you're unmuted. Just turn on your camera super quick. Just let me know it's you, and I'll let you on. Here we go. Love the Tom Ford. Actually, Uzi, type in the chat that if you don't want to turn on your camera, just type in the chat that that's you. And then it'll be all right, cool. Yep, it's him. What's going on, Uzi?
Dude, what are you doing? You're like 15 minutes behind on the chat. I can't tell if you're live or not, dude. You're so far behind.
I am live.
I didn't know. I couldn't tell.
Oh shit, we got a lot of super chats. Let me grab these real quick, Uzi, and I'll let you start. Clyde Watch Wanker, what Rolex Patek Philippe are you getting next? And I would love to get a perpetual calendar chronograph, 5270. I've been looking at those, man. So that's probably the next one. I did buy a Batman recently. I've been wearing that for the last little bit. So that's the latest Rolex I got. Got JDMTL super sticker. Thank you so much, JDMTL. And says someone took a wrench from me from MT10. Is he in the chat? I don't know. I've been like Uzi said, I'm behind, man. All right, Uzi, did you resend the offer? We got the offer going. What are we doing here, man?
It's over, man. You're going to have to do a lot of convincing to prove to us that you didn't cock block it behind the scenes and tell him not to accept. That's the narrative.
I mean, I showed the screenshot, baby.
Yeah, but I think you deleted some of those messages. You know how on an iPhone you can delete messages? So
yeah, but I don't think you know how to use WhatsApp, bro. It will show that the message is deleted.
Oh, I don't use WhatsApp. That's the thing. That's how it works?
It'll show messages deleted. Yeah, man. You can ask Marcelo to send the screenshot. The same screenshot that Marcelo has. The same one he sent you. Okay. Archie literally I can
appreciate that because I've never used it. Actually, I have in the past, but I don't have it now.
I don't have an issue with him doing that. I think I told him, I'm like, hey man, did I add the dating advice thing? Yeah, it was a bit of a joke, but like
I'm fine with the dating advice thing. That's funny because that's kind of what MAF does, correct?
That's exactly what he does. He pays for a show, dude. He pays for a show where Archie just goes on and like I think that like Archie going on another platform is a tough one, number one. Number two, he's still mad at you for other shit that you did in the past, right? That's really kind of the two things that are adding up here. But he may
doesn't
wake
remember
up
that, dude. He doesn't remember none of that. You think?
Well, he told you. He said it on the show. Yeah, no, he said it on the show yesterday. He's like, "Oh,
No, he read that off a script. He didn't remember none of that.
You ever try handing Archie a script? I would love for you to hand this guy a script because he'll never follow it. He's like Marcelo, man. You try to hand him a script and he'll just go off script all the fucking time. So,
huh?
But yeah, man, we are excited to see it. I'm happy to see Marcelo making some cash, man. It's all good. You have my blessing, Uzi, to take Archie onto the platform. I am all good with it.
So why didn't he do it? That's the thing.
Simple.
He says, I don't really care about him. It's to make a mockery of him, this, that, and the other. I just don't get it.
The only time I've ever gotten Archie to go on someone else's platform, he'll go on for like 5 minutes. Like, he doesn't promote other people's shit. He's always been this way. Number one. You're offering to pay him, which makes sense. But I think that, like, he's like, well, Uzi's already kind of fucked me in the past, so why would I, like, believe him? You know what I mean? Like, there's a bit of that, like, a bit of that history where he's not feeling it, right? So
it's just not fair. It's unequal playing fields. He's able to, like, kick you, mute you, have somebody else come on and, you know, run a thing. It's not fair. We want the home field advantage over here. You get what I'm saying? Is that too much to ask?
I think you should have gone after fucking Oshin, man, because that you could have trolled fucking Pazuzu with that. You could have trolled Curly with that. Like that I think has a much bigger payoff than Archie, personally.
Yeah, that would entail me emailing the dude back and forth, like Pony Express shit. I don't got time for that. Plus, I don't even like watch his streams, so it's not even in my thoughts to do that.
Isn't that the purpose though? Like to bring some sensationalism to Watch Nicholas' channel, give a bit of fucking that juice back into the stream. Like that's what we're looking for here. We need a reason to go back to watch Nikki's channel. So you got to give him a reason, Uzi.
Yeah, but you guys have a history with this Oshin. I've been on the panel with him like one time on.
I've got no history, dude. I was banned by Tim Wright like years ago. I've never been unbanned. Like I never talked to Oshin myself.
Huh.
I have no history with that guy.
I think I've talked to him on Timmy's panel one time.
No, but he knew you, right? Because you were sending super chats to him. Like, you know, you're the one.
Well, yeah, I primed that.
Right?
I primed that communication. I did to troll Curly, kind of.
Right, but that's like, I mean, that's all of Curly's content now is fucking Oshin. So
that's all
if you had him,
if
you had him on Nick's show, he'd be playing Nick's content. Like,
I know
this is the best part. Like,
well, he already does, kind of.
I'm like, you're gonna bring Archie there. You're just gonna beat a dead horse. We're gonna watch Archie just stare at the fucking screen, like, or Marcelo with a bird on his head. Like, okay, it's funny, but like, it gets old. With Oshin, it would be fucking jokes all day long. And
you got a good point there. Yeah, you do have a point, and I see where you're coming from. Timmy won't do it. He's making good enough money. I don't know if Oshin. How much money does Oshin get per show? Is he doing over 200 or what?
I don't know if he's doing over 200. He does get super chats, but like he does it like infrequently. He does it like once a week, type of a thing. So if you offered him 200 a day for like a fucking week, like, yeah, I mean, it's $1,400. Why would he not do it? Right? Like, he does have history with Nick though. That's the only caveat. He has history with Nick, but I'm sure if you got around that, or if you told him it was your channel, yeah, I mean, there's ways around it.
It's my channel. It's called Watch Nicholas, though.
Get him to change the name for a fucking day.
Yeah.
Just have it as like Uzi's like Watch Emporium, and then have him come on and then fucking add Nick on the panel, dude.
That's
you won't even know who Nick is, man. You won't even know who Nick fucking is, dude. That's what I would do.
That's brilliant.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're trying to fucking like energize here, man. Like, fucking, let's do it. Like, that's why I told you guys have my blessing. I got no fucking shade on you guys with Marcelo. I said, look, Marcelo's just gonna have a tough fucking time after like fucking 5 days. Like, he's gonna go back and make $2. So I mean, that's on him, right? He's gonna have to figure it out. So
I can work on that. I'll give you that. That's a good script. I can work on that. I'll try.
Yeah, man. We're bringing positivity here, boys. I wonder why peeps think Oshin content is worthy. Look, it's not. Like, his content, Oshin's stuff is actually kind of shit. Austin Daniels. So okay, this is another one. This is for you, Uzi. If you actually want to leverage like good money out of Marcelo's, you get Marcelo to bring Austin Daniels on Nick's show. Now, Austin Daniels had like, Marcelo had his big meltdown against everybody on Austin Daniels' channel. I don't know, that clip I played earlier with him and the Muppets and stuff, that was from a show we had with Austin Daniels. He's a guy that's not been around in a long time, and he has his own channel. So that's what I would do if I were you. Bring Austin Daniels on Nick's show. Okay. Oshin's content is boring, but it would be funny because if Uzi changed Nick's channel's name to Uzi's Watch Emporium, and then he adds Nick on, and Nick just like pretends that he's somebody else, and
you want the Indian accent, maybe? Do you think he should stick to his Indian accent?
Not even. He can just talk like Watch Nicholas and just ask him questions about watches and stuff like that. Because I don't know if you remember at Watches and Wonders, Nick went up to Oshin. Oshin had no idea, obviously, who he was.
Yeah.
And then Nick said the Israel forever, right? Like, that was the troll. That was the funny part, right? He kind of fucking punked Oshin. That's what I'm saying you guys should do, is that. But
or just having Oshin on, like he's this classy seeming dude, right? Kind of like D-baggish. And you have him on a panel with somebody like, I don't know, T-Dubs, right? That would be funny in itself too.
you got to
Like,
slow
it's
play
kind of like
right?
a low point in his career. Like he's talking to somebody like T-Dubs for money.
This is the problem. You got to slow play that. Like, so
Yeah.
when we bring people on like that, right? Narc gets fucking horny and just jumps on, like, and then he'll just drive the guy away. You gotta let it simmer for a bit, make him feel like, okay, like this is a bit of a safe place, and then you bring on the vicious fuckers. And then that's where it becomes like a little bit more unpredictable. But if you bring Narc on right away, Oshin will be gone in 5 minutes, and he'll just take your money, and he won't come back. Like, you gotta like slow play. So you can just you just send Oshin an email, say, hey, look, I run a watch channel, want to pay you for your time, hop on for an hour, let's talk fucking Rolex. Here's some of my watches, and you work them that way, and you can get them on, and then you fucking hit him.
Well, now he already sees it coming, though. This is going to be sent to him. He's gonna be waiting for that. So I got to give it a few weeks or something, huh?
I don't think. I think Curly would find that funny, and I don't think Curly would like. I don't think he'd rat anybody out. I don't think his camp would rat anybody out. Tim is going to be really tough. Tim doesn't want to fucking help. Tim is like Archie. He doesn't want to help nobody, right? Like,
I tried that already like 3 times with Tim. I was getting close each time, but yeah, it's really difficult with him. He's not going to come on the next channel.
No, Tim definitely won't.
Nope.
Honestly, I don't see a lot of value in Tim. He's just he's like a fucking sidekick, dude. Like, and I mean, he doesn't know shit about watches. He's funny because we make fun of him. That's about it. And it just gets old after a while. Like, the reason why Curly's show does so well is like, you got a bunch of like, beaten ex-girlfriends that are just like watching Tim's show from the outside. They don't want to watch Tim's show and give him any viewership. So they watch him through Curly, right? And eventually people are going to get bored with that shit. Give it a year. They're going to get bored, and that's what it is. Yeah, man. Tim, we don't even talk about Tim. Tim used to be fucking he used to be the number one fucking topic here. Even Archie doesn't give a fuck about that guy. Like, it's kind of, we've moved on. We've got other fucking villains and other enemies and other shit, and everybody's a villain one day or another, and shit happens, man. It all fucking circular drama, boy. Circular drama.
There's a question. If you had to pick between 2 brands, Long Jeans, is that how you say it? Long Jeans or Ulysses Nardin? Am I saying these correctly?
Ulysses Nardin and Long Jeans.
Ulysses
Okay.
Nardin. Yeah, which brand is better?
Oh, it's going to be Ulysses Nardin for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't get. I mean, Long Jeans is kind of like entry level, right? Like, it's entry level luxury, and Ulysses Nardin is like, I mean, you could compare it to at a level of like Omega and these other ones, even though it's not. It's very popular in Russia. It's very popular in certain parts of the world. It's not, but it is better than Long Jeans. Now, that's subjective. There are going to be people who like Long Jeans better, but if you ask like in the hierarchy of things, Ulysses Nardin is much higher.
All right, see you. Gotta go.
All right, see you, man. Appreciate you hopping on. Timmy in Dubai sniffing constantly look, man. Timmy is just, I don't know. Timmy is just fucking boring, man. Like, I never found him interesting. I use this analogy. I'm wearing the Batman today, so I'll use a Batman analogy for you, right? It's like Batman and Robin, Archie and Tim. Like, people are fans of Batman. Like, who the fuck is a fan of Robin? Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody gives a fuck about Robin. And that's the way Tim is. He was a fucking sidekick. That's what he was. He was a sidekick, and he wasn't even that good of a sidekick. Look, he just goes on. He runs a stream for a couple of hours. It's a alternative to Archie. People don't like Archie for whatever reason. Archie didn't acknowledge them. This is what I told you. If you're seeking friends in Archie, that's when your feelings are gonna get hurt. And if you don't seek friends in Archie and you actually just have a good time, it's the greatest fucking thing ever. But when you seek friends in Archie and your feelings get hurt, like that guy America, right? I like America. He's cool. It's always been cool with me. America 5726, guy from the colony. He sent Archie like a bottle of whiskey or something, and Archie never acknowledged it. So America got pissed off and left, right? Like, shit happens, right? People, you can't seek a friend in Archie, and if you seek a friend in Archie, you're gonna be sorely disappointed. We got Dodger in the chat, a treacherous snake who's moved over to the Marcelo. Like Dodger, Sirocco. If he ever heard that you were over there on Marcelo's boycotting the dungeon, man, like fucking. It's just funny, Dodger. I sent you a message the other day. I said, how it's called come full circle, where like Marcelo was like hosting the dungeon, which was a channel that like literally was pretty much created to go against him. All of the former Marcelo time, all the time people were over here on the dungeon to now Marcelo hosting the dungeon. Like, it just, I don't know, man, how the fuck and how we've all come full circle. Tim is watchable when things go wrong. Yeah, I think this is what Curly says, is like, if Tim got into the circular drama, definitely there would be some element of, I think there would be some interest in the show, but Tim thinks that like he's a serious watch YouTuber, a guy who knows fuck all about watches. Like, literally, like I can say this for him because like Tim used to watch my shows with Archie back in like 2018, and he would take my advice. He bought his stepfather a 5196 off of a show that I was giving the advice on. Like, Tim, was influenced by me. And so like this guy who didn't know shit about watches a few years ago is now, you know, trying to be a serious watch channel and some kind of a watch expert. Like, I think everybody who knows watches kind of sees through them. Now, Tim did have some solid panelists back in the day that did have watch knowledge. He had Swiss, he had Higgins. He ended up burning those guys. Those guys definitely brought value. They're not really around anymore. Swiss is every, once in a while in the chat. Higgins is gone. But yeah, like the true watch nerds are few and far between these days. And again, is that really why we watch the Archie Luxury channel? I don't think so. I mean, we mostly come here for the fun, the comedy, the jokes, all this stuff. That's why we watch this stuff. We don't really watch it for, oh my God, I need to know about anglage and perlage. I guarantee if you ask Archie what is anglage, what is perlage, he may get some of the answers. He may not get some of the answers. If you showed Archie a movement, if you showed him a Patek Philippe movement and asked him to describe the finishing, I think he would miss a lot. Like, that's just how it is. I've seen people who are content creators about watch channels, like, talk about the great finishing of FP Journe. Like, FP Journe is not really known for fantastic finishing. Like, they'll say a bunch of bullshit because they just don't know. And they just, they'll look at a piece and, just because it's beautiful doesn't mean it's high end in terms of finishing, right? So it's a lot of people that spook a lot of bullshit. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Bullshitters, but Longines has history. Yeah, I mean, you could see it that way, Dodger, in terms of Longines. Again, it depends what matters to you. I don't think history matters to Uzi. So if you're talking about the hierarchy of like what is considered in the hierarchy of watches, what is considered a watch that's like upper on the chain, I guess you could say, it's Ulysse Snowden. It's not Longines. Longines is very entry level in that sense. But yeah, definitely Longines has history. I'm not gonna deny that. You have to be autistic to have a friend. You got a friend in Archie, right? Like, fuck. If you're trying to catch feelings, you're gonna get hurt, boys and girls. You're gonna get hurt. You can't, you can't catch feelings with this guy.
Buy the fucking Rolex. Buy the fucking Rolex. Get a bloody Rolex. Rolex. I mean, seriously, you've gotta buy the fucking Rolex. Rolex. Buy the fucking Rolex. Rolex.
Rolex. We haven't seen that guy in a while. The landlord watch. He hasn't been. Prophet came on. He came on a few times this year, and it was funny because like fucking nobody knew who he was. But for those that don't know Prophet, he does run a YouTube channel. I don't know if he's active anymore, but he came out with the term the landlord watch, which I believe either was the gold sub or the gold day date was the landlord. I think it was the gold sub. I think it's Uzi's sub actually was the landlord watch. Where is Higgins? Higgins was driven away by the narc. Now the narc likes to come on and claim that it wasn't him, and he would totally not troll Higgins if Higgins came back. It was the narc, man. Like, the narc threatened him, some stupid bullshit. So that's why I called him out like over the last couple of days. I said, Narc, it's rich, from it to come from you about like lowering tensions when you were the fucking you've driven so many fucking people off, right? Higgins, Tusser, and many other people right away. And I mean, that's why I told Uzi, I said, if you're gonna have Oshin on, like, don't let the narc on for a while. Like, let it simmer for a bit before you let the narc on. And even when Oshin actually came on Archie's show, I think it might have been this year, Abe. So I think Oshin did come on. Was it this year? Maybe late last year or early this year. Oshin was on Archie's show and he was loving the super chats. And Oshin was kind of like, fuck, I could probably, this could help my channel. And then right at the end, the narc comes on and drives him off, right? It was pretty funny, but, it was good that Archie kind of kept him off for a while. But that's just how it is. Higo definitely watches all the streams. I'm sure he does. Hey, the streams are free, right? You can watch. You don't have to super chat. You can watch, have a good time. You can host. You can say whatever yeah, Paddock Chris knows what I'm talking about. The landlord watch. Stephen L. Tan, do you rate Tim's Maurice Grossman the Tremblage? I think Maurice Grossman is a Phoenix brand. Do they make good watches? Yeah. I like the Tremblage. Would I buy one myself? Probably not. Like when I buy watches, I buy the full package, right? Like when people talk about Lange versus Paddock, it's everybody beelines to finish, right? Like, and yeah, I mean, you could arguably say that Lange has better finishing across the board than Paddock Philippe does, but is that everything, right? Like, and I don't think it is for most people. I don't think most of you guys buy watches strictly for finishing. Um, there's a lot of elements that go into the watch, right? Like a Patek Philippe is way more accurate than a Lange is. The Patek Seal is -1 +2. It's more accurate than fucking superlative chronometer is. So Patek Philippe makes a more accurate watch than most Langes. Patek Philippe has a bigger brand presence than Lange does. Patek Philippe will service every watch that it's ever made, right? Like Lange, as far as I know, um, may not service certain watches from the past. They'll service all the watches since the 90s, right, that they've created, but it's still a little up in the air on whether they would service every single A. Lange & Söhne that's actually been created. So there's a lot more to it than simply finishing. So, for me, when I'm buying, I'm spending a significant amount of money. You've got something called opportunity cost even out, right? So if it's, and I don't know the price of Tim's watch, but let's say a rough figure is 20 or 30,000, right? Like when you're in that price range, there's a lot of other watches you can buy, right? You can buy Rolexes, you can buy Patek Philippe's, you can buy Langes, you can buy a lot of things, right? So it's like it's a tough value proposition unless you truly are looking for a very specific thing, like you want a beautiful dial that has tremblage. And again, it's probably your 10th watch in your collection. It's not your first watch. And that's where that's where it becomes tough, I think, for most people. I think most people, if you offer them you have $30,000 to spend, they're probably going to beeline to Rolex, maybe precious metal. They're going to go to Patek Philippe, they're going to go to AP. There's a lot of other watches you can think of for that money, and that's where I think Grossman, as a true value proposition of that piece, falls short. Is it nice? Yeah, it's nice. I'm not going to say it's not, but I don't think it's got enough as the full package to justify what they're asking for, personally. He calls the Yachtmaster 2 is not the Overloader. It's the Apex Predator, dude. He has the solid gold Yachtmaster 2. He calls it the Apex Predator. I love Prophet, man. Prophet's fucking funny, dude. It's not the Overloader. It's the Apex Predator. I want to see what shitters Higgy has bought recently. I don't know, man. You're gonna have to ask Higgy. He's bought some watches. I know Dodger knows about them, but yeah. Prophet loved his solid gold Rolex. Like, yeah, Prophet's definitely into the precious metal, man. He's big on that. The only shitter Higgy has is the Porsche watch. That he loves that watch, man. Uzi says, are there any skeleton watches on bracelet from AP, VC, and Lange that are 60K or less? I know they do have skeletonized Royal Oaks. I don't know about 60K or less. I wouldn't probably get a VC. And Lange, if you're thinking of like skeletonized watches, you're thinking like the Lumens, and they're very expensive. Let me see if I can find an AP Royal Oak skeleton. I don't think 60 is going to work. I think you're going to be into like really fucking expensive prices for the skeleton watches. Let's look up fucking Chrono and see if we can find the cheapest skeleton AP for Uzi. I mean, they have them, bro, but they're not exactly watches you want to buy. They're like millenaries and stuff like that. Let me share my screen real quick. You're looking at these like millenaries that are kind of like fucking shite. Like I would never buy one of these watches. That's a millenary. So they do have some, but again, you're getting these fucking really obscure shitters of APs that like are not that interesting. Let's go to like page number 4, and let's see what's here. Yeah, you're getting into the skeleton APs right up. This is even Canadian. It's 100 and some thousand Canadian. So let's go to page 3. Let's see what else is there from a price perspective. These aren't really skeletonized. These are offshores. Not skeletonized though, that he's looking for. Not much, man. Not much. I mean, and again, skeletonized is very. It's not for everybody, and I just don't see. I don't see anything in that price range, Uzi. And again, I wouldn't buy a skeletonized. I mean, the ones you're gonna want from Lung Air, like the lumens, and they're gonna be way too much money. Dodger. He has a 70K Grand Seiko. That is a sign of insanity. Yeah, he does. He bought that watch specifically for like the movement and then the one inward angle, internal angle that it has. Like he spent like fuck. It's a platinum Grand Seiko, but 70 grand, right? I mean, 70 grand. You could buy a lot of things for 70 grand, and I don't think you're gonna be buying a platinum Grand Seiko. The Apex Predator is dog shit, man. We all know that the Apex Predator is dog shit. Look, if you like the Millenary, I mean, yeah, you can get the Millenary for cheap. Millenary's always been it's always been kind of a low key. AP has value. You can buy like a lot of their dress watches. They have good value in them. They're just not highly sought after. Right? When you're talking AP, you want the Royal Oak. Like nobody's gonna. If you say AP, everyone's thinking Royal Oak. Maybe a bit on the code 1159. Like all the guys in the fucking watch colony kept spruiking it as the fucking greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm like, the 1159 is okay, but I think it's a relative flop. Just like the Vacheron 56 was a flop. A lot of people don't like the Cubitus, but the Cubitus isn't a flop. Like it's a very desired, it's a desired piece, right? It is unlike the Code 1159, which has certain desired pieces in it, like the Star Wheel and other things, like the perpetual calendars, maybe. But like most 1159s aren't desired. Cubitus is a different story. Cubitus, people want Cubitus. Cubitus is Cubidi, whatever. People want the Cubitus. They don't want the Vacheron. Because if we're talking about the three major lines, so all of the Trinity have come out with, in the last 10 years, a brand new line. For VC was the first that came out with the 56. Then AP came out with the 1159. So both of them went with pretty much circular watches, which I think in today's day and age is kind of meh. I mean, there's a lot of fatigue around circular watches. And then Patek comes out with a square watch, which a lot of people didn't like because square is also not popular. But Patek, amongst the three of those, actually, has desirability to it. So, yeah, you can't really say that they flopped on that, whether people like it or not. Yeah, they do. A lot of people love the Royal Oak skeletons. They're just crazy money, man. They are always crazy money, and they are very well loved. Don Haynes is a big fan of them. I don't know if he bought a skeleton one. I know he bought a Royal Oak Chrono. Look, you gotta like Royal Oaks. I always recommend people when they buy a Royal Oak, they stay away from the offshores unless you really, really want an offshore. I would say get like your standard Royal Oak as your first one, like a 15. Right now, what's in the 15,510 is their standard three-hander. I would get a 15,510. If you want to save some money, go 15,500. And even those haven't come down that much in price. So they're still, I think, in the 30s, like maybe mid 30s for 15,500. But get those Royal Oaks first, and then not everybody's a fan of the jumbo either. The 16202, that's the new version. I probably would go with the 15202, which has the old JLC movement in it, but AP did update it to the 16202, which has the in-house movement. It's not as popular as it used to be. It used to be a very popular piece. Kind of lost a bit of its luster, but it's still definitely over retail. The Cubitus looks great on the wrist, just a stupid name. Yeah, I think the big thing, Gary, is at least they didn't put it on the dial, right? Like the Land fucking Dweller. Like the last thing I want to see is like Land Dweller on the dial, right? Like at least Patek Philippe didn't put Cubitus on the dial, but hey, that's neither here nor there. All right, guys, I'm almost at 2 hours. I'm gonna let you guys go. I was only gonna do an hour, but I thought, I'll give you guys some value for the money. We had 5 super chats here. I'm gonna thank everybody who super chatted, and I'm gonna ride off into the sunset and enjoy the rest of my vacation here. We got Ryan Hoffrey, $2. Thank you so much. We got Clyde Watch Wanker. We had JD MTL and another unbox from JD MTL. Thank you so much, guys. I think Archie's going to be live tonight. Maybe he takes Uzi's deal. Uzi's rescinded the deal, so I don't know what's going to happen here, guys, but we're going to have to wait and see. And look, if Uzi can get Oshin on the show, I think that's going to be the real fucking game changer. All right, boys. Peace out. Take care. Happy New Year if I don't hear from you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.